Welcome to the Bobble Pocket Prayer Square crochet tutorial. I am so excited you're here. We are going to make this handheld prayer square that fits in your pocket, fits in your purse, and it takes about 15 to 20 minutes to make one, especially once you get going. So I can't wait to dive in and make this together. This pattern is a very beginner friendly pattern, and especially with this video I'm going to walk you through all of the steps. The stitches we're going to learn are single crochet stitches, and you need some chain stitches to start, single crochet stitches for the majority of this, and then a 3 double crochet bobble. You can experiment. I did experiment when I was designing this pattern with 4 and 5 double crochet cluster bobbles, and the bobbles for me personally just kind of stuck off the pattern or off the fabric a little too much. I kind of wanted this to be a little flatter so it can fit in your pocket and not be too bulky, but there's no rules. You can make one with a 4 or 5 double crochet cluster. I have links to bobble stitches that use that. I'll include that for you so you can give that a try. And the most difficult stitch I think that's on here is the crab stitch, which is really just a reverse single crochet stitch. And we're going to do this in the border. So if you can do the steps for the single crochet, you'll be able to do the steps for the crab stitch or the reverse single crochet border. You can also make this prayer square without a border, but I just like the look that this crab stitch gives it. It kind of gives it some weight and some thickness to the border that you might not always see. So be sure and give that a try. The materials you're going to need for these prayer squares are yarn, 11 and 12 yards, an H hook, or if you're going to use different yarn, grab the hook that you like to use, some scissors, and a yarn needle. As you can see, I have made these in almost every color of yarn. I think I have a yellow one over here. I just love making these for our prayer shawl ministry at church. These make amazing gifts for kids. You can see that they are small enough to fit in your hand, and kids, you know, they like to fidget during prayers sometimes, so this gives them something to hold on to and something to visually see and focus on. These would also make a great gift for First Communion or First Reconciliation and baptism, any of those things, or just, you know, a gift at Easter. Throw one in everybody's Easter basket or Christmas stocking. So I hope you love these. I also wanted to tell you that you can make these in any size yarn you want. So this set that I've made, these are all in some lighter worsted weight yarn like Karen Simply Soft. That's one of my favorite yarns to use. It just is such a good size. I have my trusty metal H hook here that I like to use. I was also gifted a Furls Streamline hook at the Crochet Business Summit, and I thought I would test it out using some larger worsted weight yarn. I think this is, I don't know what, I pulled this out of my stash, but you can just see that Simply Soft has it's a lighter worsted weight, so it makes a little bit smaller square. But this regular worsted weight is still fits in my hand, like fits in a pocket, fits in a purse. It's all great, especially if you're going to use these for your prayer shawl ministry and donate these. Get on my email list. I'll put a link in the description below where I will send you some printable gift tags that you could tie on here if you wanted to give them to someone. I know our prayer shawl ministry, a lot of times we will gift a prayer shawl to a person, and then you know, if someone died or they're going through cancer, but we might give them some of the pocket prayer squares to take with them or to give to other members of their family who are also going through a tough time as well. So these just make a really versatile gift that you can't go wrong with. If you want a written pattern, I will link to the blog post that has the written instructions for this tutorial. I will also put a link to the premium PDF purchasable. It's ad-free pattern. You can get it in any of my shops on Etsy, Ravelry. It comes with the written instructions, photo tutorials for the bobble stitch, links to the video tutorials, as well as a pattern chart so you can visually see where the bobble stitches are going. So be sure and check those out if you like any of those options as well. Let's get started. I'm going to start with a foundation chain that is 10 chains long. If you are a more advanced crocheter, you're welcome to make the first row with a foundation single crochet stitch. That's one of my favorite stitches, and either option works, but you want to have 10 chains or 9 foundation single crochet stitches. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. 10 chains or 9 foundation single crochet stitches. We're going to single crochet into the second chain from the hook. So you don't count the loop that's on your hook. You count 1 chain, 2 chains. This is the chain we're going to single crochet into this chain. You can go under the top loop. You can turn it over and go into the back bump, whatever you prefer. I'm going to go into the top loop, and I'm going to single crochet here and then in each chain to the end of the row. At the end of row 1, we have 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 single crochet stitches. We're going to turn our work and begin row 2. Row 2 begins with a chain 1. This chain does not count as a stitch for the entire pattern, so you're going to single crochet into the very first stitch that you see here, and then single crochet to the end of the row. There's the end of row 2, 2 rows of single crochets. Let's turn our work and start row 3. For row 3, we're going to chain 1. We're going to do 4 single crochets. And then we're going to do a bobble stitch. And this is, again, a 3 double crochet bobble stitch. So yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Stop there before you complete the double crochet, and then repeat those steps again into the same hole, so, or into the same stitch. Yarn over, insert my hook back into the same stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, repeat it one more time, yarn over, insert my hook into the same stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and now you have 4 loops on your hook. So yarn over and pull through all of the loops. And I like to pinch the double crochets together, pinch the bobble stitch as I pull through to make that really tight. Then you're going to single crochet into the next stitch next to the bobble stitch. That'll kind of cinch that bobble down. Remember, this is the wrong side of the work. And then single crochet to the end of the row. So you'll finish with 4 single crochets in this row. Now remember, the bobble stitch is going to show up on the wrong, or it's done on the wrong side of the work. So the bobble is pushing through to the other side. So when we turn this over, we can see that the bobble stitch is right here sticking out as we begin row 4. So row 4, chain 1, single crochet all the way across. Now we're done with row 4. Turn our work. Row 5 is a repeat of row 3. So 4 single crochets followed by a bobble stitch and then finished with 4 single crochets. So it's time to get my bobble. And then 4 single crochet stitches. Turn our work. Row 6. All the even number rows in this pattern are going to be single crochets all the way across. So chain 1 and then single crochet in every stitch all the way across the row. All right, done with row 6. Turn our work, chain 1, row 7. This is going to be the middle part of the cross. So single crochet, well, chain 1 and then single crochet 1, single crochet 2. And now we're going to do a bobble stitch. Followed by a single crochet in the next stitch, another bobble stitch, single crochet in the next stitch, and then a bobble stitch, and then 2 single crochet stitches to finish out the row. Turn our work. You can see the middle of the cross is done. Now we have another row of single crochet stitches. So chain 1, single crochet all the way across. Turn our work, chain 1, and now we're going to repeat row 3 again, 3 and 5, another repeat of those. So 4 single crochets, and a bobble stitch, and 4 single crochets. Turn your work. We are almost done. Just 2 more rows. Chain 1, again, repeat the single crochet row all the way across. We're going to do this for row 10 and for row 11, and then we'll add the border. Turn your work, chain 1, single crochet in each stitch all the way across. This is the final row before we start the border. And turn your work. So the main prayer square is done. If you don't want to add a border, you don't have to add a border. You can cut your yarn here and leave it at that, or you can make your own border. I'm going to show you how I did the crab stitch or reverse single crochet border. And to start this, you're going to turn your work about 90 degrees because you're going to make single crochet stitches, but you're going to go backwards. It's going to feel a little bit clunky to get started, but I promise you it is not that difficult. So to begin the border, chain 1, and then you're going to do a reverse single crochet in the side of this square in each row all the way down. So you kind of got to pay attention to where your rows are. This is my first spot that I'm going to, so just like a regular single crochet, repeat the directions out loud if you have to yourself. So insert my hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Find the next hole for your next row, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. It takes a few stitches for this to get going and start to look correct. So again, another reverse single crochet into the next row. And here you can start to see it coming along. We're just going to do this all the way down the side of the prayer shawl or the prayer square. Okay, when you get to the corner, you're going to reverse single crochet once, chain 1, and then reverse single crochet back into the same spot. It'll help kind of make a pointier corner. It's still going to be pretty rounded, but that's how the corners are going to go. And then now I'm on the bottom, so reverse single crochet into each of the bottom chains. You can do as I'm doing and reverse single crochet over your tail a little bit if you want. That can help start, make it easy for you to weave in your tails at the end. I'm going to continue without going over that tail so you can see that. I'm at the corner, so I'm going to reverse single crochet, chain 1, and then do another reverse single crochet into that same corner stitch. Continue up the next side. Sometimes it's hard to tell where those corner stitches are, so, and not the chains. So last corner here, you need to reverse single crochet into that. Chain 1, another reverse single or crab stitch into that same corner. In the home stretch here, and these stitches should be easier to see because you're back at the top of your prayer square. And then we started with a reverse single crochet in that very first corner stitch. So I'm only going to do 1 reverse single crochet into this, and then I'm going to chain 1 to help make the corner, and then I'm going to slip stitch into this corner here. To make it a little more invisible, I'm going to take my hook out. You don't have to do this. This is totally optional, but I'm going to take my hook out and come in from behind. Slip it under those loops there. If I can get my hook in. And then I'm going to grab the original loop and pull it through. That kind of makes that slip stitch pretty invisible. Now we just need to fasten off. Get your scissors, pull that through. Now I can fasten off. There we go. Pull that tight. And I will get my yarn needle, flip it over to the back side, and I'm gonna weave in my ends. I'll show you how I like to weave in my ends. I start here in the corner and I slide my needle under a few of the stitches. I'll generally go down, I don't know, 3 or 4 maybe. And then I'm going to come down to the row below. You can weave your yarn down there so it stays hidden. I'm going to go on back under a few stitches in that row below. And then I'm going to come over this strand, so I'm gonna, and weave it back among itself in that same row under a few stitches, and that'll really help pull that tight and not allow it to come back out. Now, you did see me earlier when we were doing the bottom of the prayer square. I kind of crocheted over a little bit of that tail. So since I already did that, I'm just going to come down. I'm going to weave it down a row. And then I'm going to come back in like towards the corner, kind of in a zigzag pattern. And then I'm going to again go over that first loop of the stitch I was just under, and then come back this way, go back over itself to help really lock that into place. And if you're using a solid color yarn like this, you really won't see any of that. And I'm going to trim these off. There you go. Here is our finished prayer square. Perfect for your pocket, your purse, wallet. So many uses for these things. I really hope you enjoy it, and I'd love to hear who you're making these for. So be sure to let me know down below what you think, how you thought this tutorial was. Is there anything that you want to see, and who you're making these for? All right, I'll catch you next time.